A review and a test drive of the 2025 Toyota 4Runner. This is the TRD Off-Road Premium Package. Bilstein plus Toyota, so developed in cooperation with Bilstein, 4-cylinder turbocharger 2.4 TRD Sport, Off-Road, TRD Pro and Trail Hunter. They all have part-time all-wheel drive. So we have power-operated seats for the passenger, for the driver, perforated leatherette upholstery, all-wheel drive high and all-wheel drive low. It's a 2-speed transfer case, and obviously it's electronically lockable differential in the back. Road imperfections actually make the ride a bit harsh, a bit bouncy. This truck has to be utilized on trails, off-road, not on-road. Good afternoon everyone, and welcome to my channel Roman Rides. Today I'm sharing my review and a test drive of the 2025 Toyota 4Runner. This is the TRD Off-Road Premium Package. Let's get into that. Let's take it for a quick drive and let's sum it up. All right, 2025 Toyota 4Runner. This is the 6th generation, already 6th generation. The 5th generation was produced since like 2010, around 2009, up to 2024. Can you imagine that? How many years? Like 15 years on the market. So it was like a high time for Toyota to actually bring a new generation. This one, the 6th generation of Toyota 4Runner. And I'm gonna start from the technical specs because there are so many trim levels. A lot of people get confused when they go to the Toyota official website to build their lovely 4Runner. So let's start from the basics. Currently this one, the truck you're currently watching is Toyota 4Runner TRD Off-Road. There are like 9 different trim levels. You can choose between 2 engine options. You can choose between 5 suspension options. And you can actually choose between a lot of different configurations in terms of cabin, equipment, creature comforts, and all of that. So let's start from the base one. The base one would be SR5. This is the work truck, starting as a rear-wheel drive with a limited slip differential in the rear axle. Then you can go up to TRD Sport. The Sport has a slightly sport-tuned suspension. That's the main difference. So regular SR5 would bring you the regular like coils and springs and shocks suspension. TRD Sport would be slightly sport-tuned suspension. Then goes this one, TRD Off-Road. TRD Off-Road features Bilstein or Bilstein. How should I say that? Let me in the comment section. Bilstein plus Toyota. So developed in cooperation with Bilstein. Shocks with remote reservoirs for the shocks up front, in the back as well. Obviously it's a rear solid axle and it's double wishbone front suspension. This is suspension number 3, the type number 3. Then there is type number 4 would be TRD Pro. And TRD Pro would feature the Fox shocks with remote reservoirs as well, up front, in the back. And then there's Trail Hunter. Trail Hunter features old EMU, old man suspensions, a slightly different configuration. So like TRD Pro for like rock crawling off-road, Trail Hunter for like something like Baja, you know, maybe vice versa, TRD Pro for like Baja off-road and Trail Hunter for trails like rock crawling and stuff like that. So there is so many options you can choose from, and obviously you can choose from a regular 2.4 turbocharged 4-cylinder engine or the hybrid one, which is this car right here, I should say this truck, SUV right here. And you see trailing arms, you see rear solid axle, you see double wishbone suspension. The wheels in this case, TRD 6 lug nuts. You have Michelin 265/70 R18, 18-inch alloy wheels. This is a regular street tire. It's not AT tire, regular street tire. And yeah, this is iForce Max. This is how you can tell whether it's a regular 2.4 turbocharged or if it's iForce Max, which is the hybrid. The car is manufactured solely in Japan. So it's manufactured in Japan and being imported here back to the US. So let's take a look under the hood. Under the hood you can see 2.4 located longitudinally, obviously because this is initially it's a truck-based platform, TNGA-GF, the same platform that underpins Toyota Tundra, Sequoia, Land Cruiser, GX550, Tacoma, and all the trucks. So it's 2.4 turbocharged, located longitudinally, as I mentioned, 4-cylinder turbocharger, 2.4, 280 horsepower, around 450 Newton meters of torque, so it's around 300 something pound-feet of torque. In our case, it's 2.4, but it's hybrid, which means that in the transmission housing, which is 8-speed transmission shared across all drivetrains, you can find a sandwich consisting of 2 electric motors, 1 traction motor, 1 motor generator. It's a sandwich, so they are located as 1 unit in the transmission housing when the engine meets the transmission. And so what it does, it provides like extra torque, extra power. It's not for fuel economy, for better fuel economy like regular Toyota Synergy hybrids. For example, you can find under the hood of Toyota Camry, Corolla, Corolla Cross, RAV4, and on and on. This is iForce Max. It's a different kind of hybrid to be destined to be a performance-oriented hybrid. So in this case, instead of 280 in the regular 4Runner, you have 326 brake horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque, which would be like 500 or 600 newton-meters of torque, something like that. Again, paired with 8-speed automatic transmission. In terms of all-wheel drive, so the base versions SR5, they come with rear-wheel drive. The next trims like TRD Sport, Off-Road, TRD Pro, and Trail Hunter, they all have part-time all-wheel drive, which means that you can actually lock the front axle as well, but you should not drive this truck over regular pavement using 4 high and 4 low, because you're gonna need to repair your front differentials and rear differentials because of the different corner speeds. Because of different corner speeds. And what else I need to say? Yeah, it's a part-time. So generally, for example, here in Florida, you're gonna use 2H, which is 2-wheel drive on the regular pavement. If there is a snow, mud, sand, some loose gravel, something like that, then you're gonna use the 4 high or maybe 4 low, depending on conditions, obviously. And then there are 2 other trims, and actually even the base trim also has a limited slip differential. Higher trims, they have electronic limited slip differentials. And actually higher trims like TRD Pro and Trail Hunter, they have disconnect stabilizers, so disconnect sway bars, things you can find on the body of Jeep Wrangler, Ford Bronco, for example. And then you can actually have a Toyota 4Runner 2025, the 6th gen with full-time all-wheel drive. There would be limited and platinum. Limited platinum, they actually differ depending on how many options they have, like leather trim, dual zone climate controls, and obviously full-time. This is the main difference. Full-time all-wheel drive, which means they have the center lockable differential, the type of Torsen-like differential in the center. So that allows you to drive all-wheel drive full-time everywhere, no matter what conditions. And I think that's a preferred option if you're gonna use this vehicle, for example, on-road, mostly on-road than off-road. And yeah, that's about it. And all this suspension setups differ in terms of articulation and how far the suspension can travel. And aside from that, rear solid axle, the fuel economy is not that great, I should say, compared to the outgoing 5th generation. It's rated 23 mpg, 23 city, 24 highway, maybe 1.2. The smaller gas tank obviously does not contribute to a great mileage, to a great range of this SUV truck. Parking sensors all around because it's TRD Off-Road Premium. And as I mentioned, Bilstein shocks, and you have running boards fixed, they're not deployable. So this is how the under the hood compartment looks, so you can see the high voltage and the battery in the back, lithium-ion battery, 1 kilowatt-hour approximately. So let me start it up. So during the startup, as you can see, it's a regular startup. It's not like a regular Toyota Synergy drive, for example, which can start using the electric motor. This is a different configuration once again, so don't be confused about that. So we have power operated seats for the passenger, for the driver, perforated leatherette upholstery, and for the cabin, obviously, you have perforation, you have ventilation, you have heated seats, you have memory seats, no power folding mirrors, you have different storage areas here for bottles and everything else. You have the floor mats saying 4Runner TRD Off-Road, you have power operated steering column, and you have the digital gauge cluster. As you can see, it's highly configurable, but sometimes it can be confusing because you can switch between different screens, right? So from screen number 1, screen number 2, showing different options. So it takes some time. You cannot do that while driving, obviously. But aside from that, it looks modern, definitely. The way that this generation is built, it looks more modern. It has the latest suite of Toyota safety systems like lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control, emergency braking, blind spot monitoring. Because this is the premium package, it adds a ventilation, heated seats, and perforation, leatherette upholstery. You have one zone climate control, single zone climate control, but you have heated seats, ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, automatic high beam, low beam, and no heads-up display, unfortunately. A big screen. This is also a difference between the regular TRD Off-Road and then TRD Off-Road Premium. So as you can see, the latest infotainment system, big screen, 360 camera. The resolution is not that great, although you have different types of angles here. You have off-road angle, you have pitch and rock of the body. So you can turn that off, you can turn this on, you can have this 3D model showing the car from the 360 view. So looks good, not bad, but the resolution, I wish it would be, I wish it was better. So yes, unfortunately we have what we have. You have the small shelf here, as well as the glove box. And this specific trim, not specific, but generally the Toyota 4Runner, it looks like a very utilitarian cabin compared to Land Cruiser, for example, and obviously compared to GX550. That cars, they look like luxury cars, much more premium. And because it has so many hard touch plastic, and especially door handles, everything is plastic, it feels much cheaper than the regular Land Cruiser. It looks cool, it looks rugged, it looks browny like a regular off-road, like, you know, this bad boy, off-road bad boy, but it doesn't look premium. So this is where your off-road controls are. You have MTS, multi-terrain select, you have to push your transmission into neutral, choose multi-select, and then you can choose between auto, dirt, sand, mud, deep snow. So different available options here. If you go back to parking and you click drive mode here on the rotary knob here, you can switch between regular drive mode. So Toyota actually split drive modes from MTS. It has rock crawl control, it's like off-road cruise control, and you also have the two-wheel drive, you have all-wheel drive high and all-wheel drive low. It's a 2-speed transfer case, and obviously it's electronically lockable differential in the back. And then you have 360 camera, separate button for that, 2 cup holders, small cubby here, as you can see. The seats are nice, but the sitting position is not that great because my knees, they are kind of, you know, not far from my ears, obviously. I think, yeah, it's a joke, but it is what it is. It's not like, it's not intended to be a premium off-road. It's intended to be like a regular, you know, not regular, like real off-roader without, you know, this super nice sitting position. It has to be tough with ground clearance enough for you to rock roll whatever you're going to do on the trail. So let's go in the back, the trunk. Let's take a look at the price, and then we'll take it for a drive. 4Runner TRD Off-Road Premium in the back. So the back seat, as you can see, this is the two-row vehicle. So obviously you don't have the third row because this is the hybrid configuration. So you can recline the back seat, as you can see here. You have the Isofix for your child seat anchors available here. Again, perforation goes for the back seats as well. You have the grab handle, you have the running board, so you can step inside with no problem, regardless of how tall you are. You have AC vents available here. You have 2 USB Type-C. You have 2 household style outlets here, one in the back, one in the trunk, in the cargo area. You have map pockets in the front seats, and what else? Yeah, the black headliner. The sitting position is not that comfortable at all. You obviously sitting higher. It's like a gallery seating, I would say, and yeah, it's less actually comfortable than Toyota Land Cruiser, for example. Somehow this vehicle feels a bit more claustrophobic than the Land Cruiser Prado, which is called here just a Land Cruiser in the American market. So you have the TRD Off-Road badge, the wheels, regular wheels, and you have power operated trunk. I thought that these buttons would operate the rear window up and down. Somehow I did not manage to actually make it work, but it should work. This is the iForce Max hybrid technology, completely different from your regular Camry or Corolla. This is the very high up located floor, as you can see. So unfortunately, yes, you have some additional compartment here, but that's about it. That's because the battery, the high voltage traction battery, is located under the floor here. Even though you don't have the third row, the cup holders and this, you know, This additional storage and cubbies are still located there because there are some configurations with this 3-row seating configuration. Another household style outlet, you see 2400 watts. Some tie-down hooks, some lights, and yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So 2 buttons, lock and just close, and then close and lock. So in terms of pricing, this particular trim, which is all-wheel drive TRD Off-Road premium package, $59,969, so almost $60,000. It's manufactured in Japan, as I mentioned before, and you have LED taillights, LED headlights, parking sensors, all around 360 camera, 326 horsepower, and 465 pound-feet of torque. So the price range is around $42,000, $45,000 up to almost $70,000 for the top trim TRD Pro and TRD Trail Hunter. 4Runner Trail Hunter. And obviously Platinum Limited, slightly, they cost slightly less, but they have all-wheel drive full-time system, which is completely different from this one. Again, I would prefer full-time all-wheel drive instead of the part-time, but it's up to you. Let me know, guys, in the comment section what you think about the pricing, because I think the pricing is really close. The top-end pricing is really close to GX550, and that vehicle actually features 6-cylinder twin turbocharged, unlike this 4-banger. So let's get behind the wheel and take it for a quick spin. All right, testing 2025 Toyota 4Runner. Yeah, definitely the body and frame nature of this car, you cannot hide it at all. It's a little bit bouncy, I would say. A little bit bouncy. So this is the iForce Max TRD Off-Road with the premium package. It's rear-wheel drive. And let's switch to the normal mode. Yeah, the first impressions, obviously, the engine is super torquey. It's peaky and torquey, so the torque is available everywhere. The engine is very responsive, is very elastic, and it's ready to go anytime. That's the beauty of this car, the engine itself, right? If we're talking about the actual application of this engine in light of a truck platform like this one, then I think that the 5th gen, the previous gen 4Runner, was a bit smoother. Yes, it was slower, it was probably a bit more louder when driving on the inside, but I think the overall driving comfort was a bit better because it was smooth, it was linear, and very predictable. Here we have a lot of torque, a lot of power, but it's still a 4-banger. It's a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. The way it actually accelerates and drives, I would say it suits more, or it would suit more for a hot hatch, for example. That's just my vision, but not for a body and frame truck. So anytime I let off the brake pedal, it starts to decelerate a lot, like immediately, abruptly. So there is no such thing like very smooth ride. You know, I'm trying to go very smooth right now, like 40, 45 miles per hour. First of all, the sound of the engine, it sounds like a diesel, you know, sounds like a freight train. And it's bouncy, definitely. In the city limits, it's bouncy. I think this truck is a great example of when you buy this, you're gonna use it the way it's built to be used for its purpose. So it's a purposely built off-road truck. I don't think it does a great job when driving in the city limits, right? It's nicely equipped, you know, leatherette and leather-wrapped steering wheel. perforation, ventilation, 360 cameras, the new safety suite, and all that stuff definitely makes it easier to drive. But in terms of the riding comfort in the city limits, like the sewers, the sewer leads, and some road imperfections, actually make the ride a bit harsh, a bit bouncy. And the way they combine the transmission, the 8-speed transmission, and with the iForce Max hybrid, it's a bit jerky, I would say. Sometimes it tries to do the gear hunting, even though it's got only 8 gears. Still, you feel like sometimes the truck cannot decide which gear to use. So, for me personally, it's a mixed bag. I cannot say that it's a super comfortable truck. It's not. For the city driving, it's too bouncy. It's too harsh for me personally. If you're a Toyota 4Runner 6th Gen fan, definitely you're gonna appreciate this truck. But what I heard, at least from the forums, and I know a lot of people, they like this truck. I know a lot of people, they switch from the 5th Gen truck 4Runner to the 6th Gen truck, this one. I know a lot of them, they really like, they are like in love with their new trucks. They love the technology, more torque, power, acceleration, handling, dynamics. But the way that it's a 4-cylinder, I think the truck lost its charisma, being very smooth and very, smooth and linear in terms of power delivery, torque delivery. I don't know, guys, let me know in the comment section. I'm not a big fan of trucks at all, like pickup trucks, general SUV trucks. I'm a, coupe, sedan guy. I personally drive Volkswagen Arteon, Audi sedan, sportback as well. So I totally get it. If you need a vehicle like this, for example, to haul people, carry loads, whatever, I think Grand Highlander, regular Highlander, Lexus GX 550 probably will be better, especially considering the price of this truck. So not only does it ride a bit harsher than I thought it would be, the bouncy ride, the price is just ridiculous. I mean, if you want to buy the top trim TRD Pro Trail 100, they're pushing $70,000. That's the Lexus GX 550 territory. So I think if you spend like 95% of the time on the road, not off the road, you're not going to go to trail anywhere anytime soon, I think it makes total sense to switch to Grand Highlander, Hybrid Max, Lexus TX 500H, and enjoy the ride, enjoy the comfort, enjoy the smoothness of the Hybrid Max technology, for example, versus these iForce Max. And during the handoff, for example, I have just started, right? So I got going, and so during the handoff from the electric motor in the transmission housing, you feel this jerkiness, right? So the transmission calibration, engine and transmission calibration, the suspension bounciness and everything else, definitely they don't work towards the overall comfort and, smoothness. But it's cool. It's cool looking truck. It's like super quick for the truck in this like class of this size. I would say definitely it looks great on the inside. A lot of features. That's great to have. But actually driving and living, I mean, fuel economy is not super great here. I think the fuel economy is really, not the strongest side of this truck. And it's not that much different from the 5th gen with 4-liter V6, natural aspirated. So for me personally, it's a mixed bag. Yes, it's modern. Yes, it's torquey. Yes, it's quicker, more modern, but is it why you would buy this off-road truck? Just to enjoy the modern technology? I think there are many more, trucks like this in this class. They are more affordable, and like, let's say Jeep Wrangler or something like that, if you're looking for like ultimate off-roader. But if you're gonna be flexing, at the mall parking, that's probably not the use case for this truck. Again, just my opinion, just my 2 cents, not trying to you know, to tell that it's bad. It's not bad. I just think that if you live in a rural area, if you're gonna visit a lot of trails, like off-road trails, that's the best, the perfect, especially considering body and frame, the axle articulation. That's just great. Regular Toyota Synergy hybrids, they work much smoother. But it sounds cool, you know, especially the turbocharging noise. That's really nice. All right, let's get into final thoughts. All right, summary, final thoughts on the 2025 Toyota TRD Off-Road Premium Package, the 4Runner, and which costs $60,000. So what I'd like to say about this vehicle, it's a mixed bag. What I'd like to say, it's on-road comfort is almost non-existent. So the jerkiness of the transmission, the jerkiness, the handoff between this electric mode, when you're, for example, stationary at the traffic light, then you start accelerating, like the first like the half second, you feel that it's powered and propelled by this electric motor just for the half second, split second, and then this handoff happens when the ICE engine kicks in. This is where you feel this jerkiness. Obviously, it's not super smooth transition. It's far from being very smooth. On top of that, 2.4 turbocharged hybrid, 4-cylinder. The 4-cylinder, I don't think it really suits this car that well because it is very peaky, it's very torquey, even though it has 8-speed automatic. Sometimes I felt that it was trying to gear hunt what gear actually to use. It has so much torque and so much power, then it's great, but it would be nice to have a more linear and more like smoother transmission and engine combination. It's fast, definitely, but do you need like a fast off-roader, body and frame truck off-roader, being super fast, super responsive? Probably yes for some of you, but I think that actual on-road environment for this SUV, for this body and frame truck, is not the best place to spend time. I think that this truck has to be utilized on trails, off-road, not on-road, because, you know, when driving over some road imperfections, some sewer leads, some gutters and whatever road imperfections, some potholes, like the whole body actually shakes. So the SUV feels to be very bouncy, very jolty, and yeah, I think that's not the best. And the full tank gives you about 300 miles, maybe less than 300 miles, which is not great. The fuel efficiency is not that great compared to like outgoing 5th gen model with 4.0 V6. And I think the previous generation really lacked the faster transmission. This one is obviously more modern, faster. It's super torquey, it's super agile, super elastic motor. But the combination and the setup, yeah, the way that it works together, it's a bit like jerky experience, a bit nervous, I would say. But it's up to you guys. I'm just sharing my 2 cents. So overall, it's really great to be off-road, not to be on-road. But that's just my perception of this vehicle. Great vehicle to be a great off-roader. For the city driving, I would prefer like a unibody, like Toyota Grand Highlander, Lexus TX. So guys, let me know in the comment section, what do you think about this car, this truck, I should say? Would you buy this for $60,000, this specific trim, for example, or would you buy TRD Pro Trailhunter, for example, instead for almost 70 grand without markups? I think it's a great car. It's a purpose-built car. Not super great on road, but again, that's just my feelings and my final thoughts. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, hit the like button. See you next time.